This video was inspired by something that happened a couple weeks ago with my friend Rikki. Rikki is one of my very close friends out here in LA, and I always try to get my friends to come to church with me, so I'll invite them. And I had been inviting her for some time now, but our schedules had just never worked out until a couple weeks ago she went with me to the service at One Church LA. The service was so spot on, not only with her but also with me, that it was just motivating. And she had never gone to a church like that, so she didn't know what to expect, and the message really hit home. And after that, so that was a Sunday. On Tuesday, another one of my favorite speakers, his name is DeLeon Franklin. He does the Bible study on the last Tuesday of every month, and I told Rikki, you have to go to this Bible study because he is one of my favorite speakers. So it was that Sunday she went with me, and then Tuesday was DeLeon's Bible study. And it was discouraging to me that day because I had invited 3 people, Rikki, Aaron, and Jocelyn. So I invited 3 of my friends that I wanted to go with me, and it was crazy because when it was about time to go, something had happened where they didn't think they were going to make it. So I'm going to focus just on Rikki's experience because that's, like I said, what really inspired this video. So with Rikki, she was first supposed to meet us at my work, and then she had to go back home because her phone charger wasn't working. So then, oh no, not that her phone charger wasn't working. She had to go back home because she forgot her phone charger. So she went all the way back home, and then on her way back, she found out that the charger for her car didn't even work. So she's about to not have battery on her phone. She doesn't know where she's going because the Bible study wasn't where Sunday service was that we went to earlier that week. So her phone's about to die. It's at 1%, and she's texting me like, hey, can you meet me outside? And then my phone was about to die. We really need to start charging our phones more, I guess. And when she got there, there was no parking because it was already a little late. The Bible study started at 7:30, so it was probably about like 8 o'clock when she texted me this. So I was already having problems parking, but then by the time she got there was no parking anywhere. And of course, like, that's just frustrating when you're rushing, you don't have your phone, you don't know where you're going, and then she couldn't find parking. So I kind of made her mad because I texted her like, why would you come all the way this way just to turn around because of parking? Like, you can find parking. And like, that was a little harsh on my part, but I was just so passionate and just knew like this was for her, like she needed to be there. So I just pushed her, and I know she got mad because I mean, she told, like, I could just tell like we were both just frustrated with each other at this point. So at the Bible study, it's the Ascend Bible study, they only sing about 1 or 2 songs, but I don't know why this time around they sang a lot more. I don't know if it was because that they had guest singers like Michelle from Destiny Child. She was singing, and then there was just so much singing, and I'm like, it's usually not like this. And that's when I knew even more Rikki needed to hear this message. So Rikki's phone's about to die. I try to tell her where we're sitting, and she finally finds us. And I swear, the second that she walked into the room, DeLeon was just walking up to the stage, so he hadn't even started yet. So then when she sat down, the first thing DeLeon said was, I know that there's some of you in here who just didn't even want to come in today. You just weren't in the mood. Everything's going wrong today. Like, you just want to go home. You just don't want to do anything. And that's exactly what happened with her. And then the thing is, like, again, that kind of, I feel like that happened with all 3 of my friends that day. So I'm looking at her, and then I'm looking at Jocelyn, and then they're both tearing up, and then I'm tearing up because then DeLeon started talking about all this other stuff, and the service hadn't even started. Aaron, he was behind us. He had to move because there wasn't enough seating. And I mean, he's a guy, so I'm not going to say he teared up, but if he was a female, I'm sure he probably teared up, or maybe he teared up inside, because that's how awesome DeLeon is when he is speaking on God's word. So he's talking about all this, and then the whole lesson was about frustrations and challenges, and he touched on everything. And it's weird because, I mean, not weird because that's just how it works. Like, he touched on something that I knew all 4 of us were going through, and we weren't going through the same thing, and that's how I knew we needed to be there. So whatever, so at least Rikki, Jocelyn, and I were crying during the service, and after the service, Rikki and I got to talk, and she was telling me, like, you know, everything went wrong today, and I hadn't even talked to her all day, so I don't know what happened prior to her just going to Bible study, but I could just see it in her face, and you could see like the frustration. So she was saying, like, you know, everything just went wrong today, and then she was just going about what went wrong, and then it ended up with me just telling her, like, Rikki, do you understand why everything went wrong today? And then she didn't know, because of course you're frustrated. We've all been there. When you're frustrated, you don't even want to hear about anything else because you're just frustrated. So I told her, you've never gone to church like that, and you went on Sunday. And then I didn't even touch on this. On Sunday after that service, she got on Snapchat and apparently like gave the whole sermon. And if you guys aren't familiar with Rikki, she has a lot of followers. So I'm looking at her Snapchat. She's basically recapping this sermon, and I'm seeing how her fans are reacting to her, saying like, I needed to hear that word. You helped me. All this stuff. So she does that on Sunday. And then Tuesday was the Bible study, and then everything was going wrong to make her not want to go to the Bible study. And I told her, Rikki, everything is going wrong because you are on the right path. You discovered something in your purpose that you lacked before. You were supposed to go to church. You were supposed to get to know God, and you were supposed to use your platform to really show people who God is and like how great He is. So she was doing that. So I told her, you should expect things to go wrong, and you should continue to expect things to go wrong even after this, because the more and more you align yourself with God, and when you know you're headed on the right path and the right direction, of course the devil is going to want to do everything to discourage you to not go that way, because he knows once you reach that point in your life, there's no stopping you, and there's no, like, it's just showing people who God is. And of course the devil doesn't want that. So I told her, you need to get encouraged every time you get discouraged, in a way, because that means you are on the right path. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I told her, if you think your distractions and what got you frustrated just today, prepare yourself now, because it's about to get worse, because that's just how it is. He doesn't want you to be living for God and spreading these positive messages. So I told her, it's just about to get worse, but it's okay, because that will stop. Like, the devil will leave you alone and he'll flee. Like, he's going to flee once he knows that you're strong enough to resist what used to be able to discourage you before. So I just wanted to do a video on that. So today, if you feel like everything in your life is going wrong, you should be happy, because that's just confirmation you are on the right path, and you are about to reach like this level of blessings you've never experienced before. So be encouraged that you're discouraged, because nothing bad is going to come from that discouragement. And just keep doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. Keep spreading like that message, and just stay positive, because it's, like I said, you are on the right path, and that's all that matters. You're strong enough to handle it. You're supposed to be here, and that's all. That's all I wanted to share. And you know, Rikki, like, we've already talked about it, but it's just so awesome to see how much God has already impacted your life. And we've only gone to 2 services. Rikki, even after that service, so Sunday was just a couple days ago, she was texting me. We were supposed to go to like the 10 a.m. service, but I ended up going to the later one. But she was texting me like, Jen, I watched the live stream and the service was so amazing that like my heart's pounding that I just want to watch it again at 2 o'clock. And it's just such an inspiration to see what God can really do in your life. And I know that it's really like, this was something that she needed to get her to where she needed to be. And it's just, I hope that when she talks about it, and it's not even that I hope, because I know it will, the more Rikki talks about it, the more people are going to be inspired, and like, that's what it's all about. So that's my message for today. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I will be dropping an inspirational video every Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. A lot of people miss out on that, again, because you think you have to be squeaky clean, and that's not what God cares about. You have to focus on what God really cares about, and like I said, it's what's